Sir, it's 9:30. Maget Bavakwa is coming up right here. Well, you want to just get him on now? Yeah, let's go. He is with Independent Guahan, and we are doing the big Natlotlat concert Sunday. It's the 5th.
Volume 5.
Volume 5. Yes. Good morning, Maget.
Hey, half a day, manana si Diyos.
Bananas of Zeus. So, you guys excited, right? For the 5th? I mean, I remember when you guys did the first one, right? It was kind of a different climate 5 years ago. I mean, I'm saying there's always been, and I know you rub elbows with birds of a feather and stuff, but I remember just that first year, 4th of July, Independent Guahan. It was kind of like right? But I feel like it's normalized now 5 years later.
Well, I think that part of what made that first one important or different was that the Davis decision had come out from the Ninth Circuit Court. The Protehila and the military buildup was very hot, a lot of discussions. And so there was also sort of federal threats to the Chamorro Land Trust. And so when we had that first concert, it was sort of in that climate where, a lot of, especially Chamorros, but others from Guam too, were feeling sort of a bit, like, is the federal government out to get us in these certain ways? Do they really not care about us? And so, we had that first concert, and it was really nice. It was really fun. And so I think that one thing that's kind of shifted, of course, is that for the past two Julys, it's been on air. That's a totally different experience, right? It's just like, and it's going to a concert and being around people is very different than sitting at home and watching it on your iPad or on your desktop or laptop. And so this is part of how Independent Guahan, we've tried to adapt to sort of the COVID restrictions. Mm-hmm. And we wondered if we could have an in-person concert now, but then we figured that a lot of people are still worried. A lot of people still have concerns. I mean, even me, whenever I see too many people in a room, I still instinctively get a little bit, look at all these people here. And so we decided to once again do it on air on KUAM and live on and on Facebook as well. And then, but we're looking forward to in the fall getting back out into the community with other sort of in-person activities.
Tell us a little bit about the lineup this year.
Sure. And so this year we have, we have a young musician, singer, Jonah Honam.
Yeah.
Love his stuff. He performed at Nalatla concert last year and also 2 years ago. He performed in a band, Little Giants, with his siblings.
Yep.
So really, really great to see a young Chamorro trying to incorporate the language sort of into his own style. It's very, very cool.
Good stuff.
We have,
it's good, yeah.
We have Rachel.
You know, Miguel, with Jonah Honam, it's like I don't normally listen to that kind of music. I don't know, what do you call it? Whatever, it's like pop, R&B, hip hop, whatever. But because it's a Chamorro guy, of course, I'm keyed into it, and he's got some good songs.
The dude's an artist, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Hongan, I feel you there, too. It's not my usual style either, but then when I was listening to him when we were recording it, I was like, I wanted to ask my daughter, hey, how do I dance to this? Can I dance to this? Do you dance to this type of music or, But yeah, it's very, very catchy, very infectious.
I want to see that video. I want to see you dancing to Jonah Honam.
No, you don't. We'll have negative views and negative likes.
People are going to be like, what? You can't cha-cha to that.
And then we have Rachel Esteves from the Dolls.
Oh, yeah.
She performed a couple, and I loved her introduction. She told me, introduce her, that, she is determined to make Zotnya great again.
Hey.
And so we have a group of 3 young musicians, all of whom I had as students at UOG, and all have gone on to sort of work for the cultural revitalization, the language revitalization. Pedro Blas, Lawrence Lizama, and Daniel Stone. They all work for the Harao School or the Anafa Maulik Youth Camp, and they have a group called Malak Motna. And man, they have some great covers of sort of some Chamorro songs. Love it, like Nobia Neni. They have a great version of Nobia Neni.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see them sort of recording and performing. And then who else do we have? Oh, one thing that I'm very happy about is that we have Sinahi Beneventi, who is the granddaughter of the late Ed Beneventi, who was a Magalahi of Chamorro Nation, who was instrumental in getting the cultural center started. Above Tuman, who was part of good friends with Angel Santos. And so we made a memorial video for him because he was sort of a big inspiration in us starting independent Guahan. And then we were so grateful that his granddaughter Sinahi came and sang a song, sort of as part of the concert.
Good job. Maget, who's the one young lady who dances in front of the blankets?
Oh, so that's from the I'm not sure of her name, but I think it's a niece of Shannon McManus and John Glazer.
Right on.
Because that's in the Microchild. That's in the Microchild video. And so we're also showing two Microchild videos.
Nice.
As part of the concert, Salan Kolebla and Kogwenaidza.
Nice.
And I love their style too.
Yeah.
I love how they'll always sort of put in a Chamorro verse in a song. And I just love it. It always hits me in a different way when you're grooving to one of their songs and then the Chamorro verse comes in.
Right, they're like this, right, with the Chamorro, just like Chamorro.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What kind of music is that? Maget? Microchild. My kids love it.
Microchild, I don't know. It's
kind of
like a
folk indie, maybe, or
it is. It's definitely indie. I think it is a little folk. But then they have some little sort of Kusinan Sanhizung vibes too.
Yeah,
they mix in sort of interesting little instruments too. No, I'm totally out of touch with music nowadays. For me, I'm like for me, if I was putting together a concert, it would be like a bunch of old Chamorro dudes and dudettes or something like that.
But instead, what you get is you get this younger generation of just like activists, not even activists, but they're performing like all the songs that we grew up to, and I think that's so cool to hear their interpretation of it.
Oh yes, and I think that's one thing that we want to do. I mean, for independent Guahan, that's one thing we want to do. We want it to be a space for younger artists to sort of, because when to think in Chamorro, to play in Chamorro, to sort of take on a cause or an issue related, to the island, to the people. And then, personally for me, that's always something too. I always tell like young artists, if you want to perform something in Chamorro, I'll translate a song for you, or I'll help you translate it. Just give me your lyrics, and then I'll do my best. You can take what you like, what you don't like, but then, because I just want more people performing in Chamorro.
Right on. So I want to hear some. I'm going to send you some Cardi B.
Oh, we were just thinking.
Ooh, I like a challenge.
But
what is up is up and up.
No, but the one thing I've always appreciated about Lanala Doc is as someone who tried to be a musician at many moons ago.
Come on, Jay, don't undersell. Jay is a guitar virtuoso. He's really good.
Don't
plays the guitar.
No, but I mean, the one thing I've always liked is like you hear for like the last 4 volumes of this wonderful concert, right? And like your colleague Ken Cooper was even saying, he comes from heavy metal, but you're bringing with a very distinct message. So you'll see people with, like you mentioned, Shannon, you've got jazz influences and gospel, and some people, reggae, obviously, and some people get into like the hard rock
basically,
stuff.
Jason wants to know, where's the Chamorro heavy metal?
Ken was doing that for a while.
There is.
Oh, Jay.
Jason, you may be happy because this year there is a heavy metal group.
Very
that's
cool.
Part of the lineup. There is, and so I'm not supposed to reveal their name because they have a very underground sound, and so they kind of come into the lineup all like very unexpectedly. But
that's cool.
But yeah, and so they, I remember talking to you and Ken about that back in the day, and that's the thing is that sometimes we get stuck on like Chamorro music is this country flavor, or it's this sort of. Or it's the synthesizer sort of cha-cha thing.
Yeah.
But we got to open that up and just say, create whatever feels good to you, but, find a way to connect it back to home. find a way to connect it to your language, to your people, to the culture. But yeah, if you want to make Chamorro inspired anime J-pop music, do that. Do that. I'll help you translate it if you want.
Right on. Right there, right after the Cardi B. Maget, you're on you're on the One Micronesia podcast too, and we don't want people to overdose on you. But if we could just real quick, if you could just put on your museum hat and museum. I know you told us it was reopening, and I thought I saw something on Instagram where people were in the museum. What's that about? And when are you guys like opening for the public?
And so we've been testing our COVID guidelines. So we've had a few sort of test tours in because our goal is to basically have 1 hour blocks. You have to sort of schedule to come in at this time, and then you have 1 hour to go through the permanent exhibit and then sort of exit. And so that'll allow us to sanitize for the next block. So just sort of come in. So we've been letting a few groups in just to test, to sort of make sure that our staff is able to manage the flow properly. Our goal, we were hoping to open last month, and then sort of the tentative date now is the date after Liberation Day, so the 22nd of July. And so that's what I'm planning for. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. All right, we got to get down there. Maybe next week we can do a link on location, and you just get.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a little 30 minutes.
Yeah, no,
or...
and if you wanted to, if you wanted to do something like you mentioned before, the Micronesian Minute with Dirk Ballendorf in the past, we can absolutely do something like that. Just because, it can be like a monthly thing or whatever you're interested in, but just to sort of bring in the resources, the knowledge of the museum, to your audience regularly.
Right on. That. Thank you for telling my idea to the whole island.
So we'll start that real soon.
Yeah, we will. There you go. My boss told me to get on it. Thank you, Maget.
Thank
you
again.
There you go. Break a leg. It's the 5th annual Nat Lotlet concert. I didn't get to ask you about that great group, Tadung Marianas, that you guys are working with for this concert.
Oh, yes. Sorry. No, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
This year is a collaboration with Tadung Marianas, and so they are a great group of sort of young artists, activists, scholars, musicians. They did a great tour last year of the Marianas, talking to people, recording songs, capturing stories. And so we were happy that they helped collaborate with us, organize the music. And then as part of this too, you'll see some previews from the content that they're going to put out there. Nice. Because they really they traveled to Rota, to Saipan, to Tinian on Guam, and just interviewed a bunch of people. What are the stories of the Marianas, and then also recorded people singing too. What is our sound in the Marianas too? And I'm really happy that this year we get to showcase them, because follow them on social media for sure, and then sort of pay attention to them because they're the up and coming next generation.
Got it. Thank you, Maget.
Adios.
Adios.
Yeah, so once again, everybody,
Jay, stand by. Yes, Jason Salas, ladies and gentlemen.
Once again, everyone, that's Nalatla Songs of Freedom Volume 5, premiering live this weekend on the 4th of July at 7 p.m. on KUAM TV8. It's also going to be on Facebook Live, as Dr. Bavacqua said, and on YouTube Live. So whatever platform you are, comment, share it, enjoy it, love it, live it.
Right on, Jay. Thank you.
I want to make a Chamorro heavy metal band.
Dude.
It's either going to be Bang Your Head Fan or Mosh Pit Night.
Mosh Pit Night.
That's the name.
Working my Primo Can, bro. Let's go ahead and do Feed Me Fridays, guys, with our friends at Ruby 2.